our Centerville City Council meeting to order. We begin with our roll call.
Brahman,
Here.
Reagan,
Here.
Hamilton,
Here.
Rusick,
Here.
Sherwood.
Here. And now if you all would please join me in our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 1C would be the approval of tonight's agenda. I have a motion.
So move.
Got a motion from Anna. Second from Brad. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Our agenda has been approved. Number 2 is our public forum. Anyone would like to come before the council and speak, we have rules. 5-minute limitation. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak tonight? Seeing none, do we have anybody zooming in or on the Abatement network who would like to talk?
No hands being raised.
No hands. Okay, well, thank you. We'll move on. Move to number 3, our consent agenda. There are 9 items on the agenda. Council, if you have any questions or comments, entertain those right now. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Got a motion from Don,
Second.
second Brad. All those in favor, I do need a roll call, please.
Brahman,
Aye.
Reagan, I think you're abstaining.
Staying.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Rusick,
Aye.
Sherwood.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. The consent agenda has been approved. We do not have any public hearings tonight for item number 4. So we move to item 5, our discussion action items, general business and old business. We start with 5A, the approval of tonight's bill. Council, do you have any questions or comments? I'll entertain those at this time. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the bills as presented. Do I have a motion? Got a motion from Ron,
Second.
second from Anna. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Bills have been approved. 5B would be the approval of the November 2025 financial report. Again, any questions or comments? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the November financial report.
Motion approved.
Motion from Red,
Second.
second from Darren. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, financial report has been approved. 5C will be our departmental reports. We'll begin with our city administrator, Jason Frazier, and also discussing the November budget report.
So my written general report is included in the packet, but I was going to skip forward to the monthly budget update for November of 2025. So this is on page 55 down at the bottom. This is the summary of where we are on the budget year. And we should focus on the expense side of the equation, not so much the revenue side. And where we are compared to where we budgeted to do. So, and I'll just run through what the generals of this report are, so that way you guys can interpret it as we go forward from here. So whenever we do the annual budget, we have 9 budget categories that we have to make sure that we stay in check with. If we don't, we get dinged on our audit for being out of compliance on those. And so if there's ever a point we're going to exceed in one of those 9 categories, then we need to do a budget amendment to give us that extra spending capacity to not necessarily generate more money to spend, but just show that we're going to allot something to pot A instead of pot B. So what I've highlighted here are those 9 areas. So we have public safety, which is our police, fire, EMS, building inspector, and animal control. Public works, which is our street department, part of our airport, so the parts that are funded out of the city's general fund, and other public works, not including our utilities. We have culture and recreation, so that's going to be library, pool, cemetery, parks and recreation, general budgets. Community economic development, that one is composed of our economic development funds and our CDBG grants, hotel motels, falls in this category too. Strike that. hotel and motel does not fall in that category, it falls under general government, which is one thing we'll go over here in a minute. General government total is things that would generally fall under the 001 line account, so general activities of the government. Our debt service, which is limited to bonds and debt that we pay for through tax agencies, does not include our revenue bonds for water and sewer that those don't go in that line item. Capital projects would be if we had a special capital projects fund for a given year. We haven't used that, I don't think in the last 2 fiscal years. We've had those out of the different utility funds there. And then business type enterprise, that's where all of our utilities pull out of. So you see, and then we also have the 661 fund. So those are the airport funds that are funded by the airport itself. So the things that they generate at the airport, they're not tax revenue. So the two different categories we have there, we have budgeted and report that we mentioned there. So budgeted is what the state submitted form reflects. And the report is what our accounting system shows in there, in our accounting lines. And as far as where we are in the year, public safety was 35% of its total annual expenditure, which is right where we'd expect it to be, with November being 42% of the year. Our public works is at 22% of its annual amount. Our culture and recreation is at 59% of its account, which is a little bit high, but that has a funny spending pattern where we don't spend a lot between October and March. And so we're really high on the front end and really high on the back end, but in the middle, it's a valley there. Community and economic development funds, we're at 20% of our total budget. City Hall, we're at 55% general government, we're at 55% of our annual budget. And then debt service, we're at 4% of our annual budget. And that's largely because we only have 2 payment periods that we make for debt service. So we make a interest only payment in December, and then we have an interest and principal payment every June. So in May and June, that will come back to 100% on that. And then we're at 51% of our capacity for our utility fund. So, trending a little bit high, but we have had some large expenditures in there, like water tower painting or cleaning that weren't necessarily fully expected, but are going to push back some of the larger expenditures back to the fiscal years with that. And then the one note I had as far as alignment of some of these charges, the 120 fund, when we did our annual budget, we had it listed under community and economic development tranche of money, but it should have been under the general government total, so we'll need to do a budget amendment to switch where those pull from. Ultimately, it's no additional money coming out, it is just making sure that that aligns properly with the state report.
I just want to say I really love this. I particularly love, so fellow council members, just on the next page, so on page 58, the page following the verbal report, there's a summary of funds detail. And so just showing the original budget and the current budget amount, meaning there's not been an amendment to those budgeted amounts. And then the percent of that dollar used, I think, is a really helpful summary of where we're at in the year's budget. And I think also just really helpful for the public to understand those numbers of like, hey, if we're 42% of the way through the year, obviously there's going to be some exceptions because not all expenses happen evenly throughout the month, just as that's true in like our home budgets. But you know, Jason, as you're highlighting, having a range in there, an idea of like, okay, if something doesn't generally align with 42%, why is that? And being able to ask those questions, if something is much higher or much lower, why are we not like roughly tracking? And I'm not seeing anything jump out, which is great. And I know some of those outliers you just explained to us, but even the outliers aren't, like they're pretty small. So
Yeah.
super helpful update to the report.
Yeah, and just a note on page 58, so there's the other activities at the bottom. So that is not a state trackable fund, and so we don't actually budget for that through this, I guess, in a way that, how do I explain best? It doesn't go in the state budget form, so it is not balanced in the same way the other ones would be. So a lot of these expenses are things like the levy for employee benefits, where that is an unlimited levy to meet whatever the requirement is. So that number doesn't show up in there, or interfund transfer. So if we transfer from general fund over to a utility fund, those transactions would show up in the period activity, but they are not a trackable transaction because the money is not going out of the building.
I got a question real quick since we're on it. I know Hawkins is really good at his job, but 21%, how do you pull that off at this time of the year? I mean, how far we been into about 6 months?
Well, it just started snowing, so we don't spend anything on salt.
And we had a stockpile at the end of last year, so some of those funds are still pulling from last year's efforts.
And then we have some road money budget on there as well that we can spread.
I just curious, it seemed lower than everybody else's for a big department.
I tried on.
I do know that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think there's also some airport expenditures in there that have not, the project hasn't gone forward yet, so.
Oh, so it'll show up, yeah, at the
That'll show up
airport.
too. So it's not all just Steve being just the super.
So we can't give him that.
No,
credit.
you can't do that yet. Wait till May and I'll give him credit for it.
Thank you.
I think those are the highlights.
And I guess before we wrap up this section, I would just say for any members of the public that are listening, if you all have any questions on the budget, because I know there's a lot of information and a lot of misinformation out there, you can send me an email. My email is on the city website, and I'd be happy to talk through any questions y'all have.
Any other questions for the council? Board? Thank you, Jason. Public Works, Steve, okay.
Yeah, I think you guys have a copy of my report on this, is on the highlights, mainly been trying to keep the streets clear. I think we've been out 5 times now. Been wet again, so we're in good shape. Also as part of that, we do, we clean the square up late at night, early in the morning. Get cars off there. I wanna thank Tom and his guys for helping keeping those out of our way. It makes it a lot handier. And then we also do City Hall and the library as well. We applied 80,250 gallons of sludge from our West wastewater plant in mid-November. We also removed our UV disinfection lights from the east and west plants. We can take them out 15th of November each year. We like to put them up so they're not just in the water all year. And then we've done 2 house demolitions at 919 and 1216 South 16th Street. We have 2 more to go. Myself and 7 other employees attended continuing education classes as well in November. That's pretty much what I have for you.
What do you do with the sludge?
Put it in a truck, haul it out. It'll be about 6% solids typically. So 94% water. And we take it out and just put it on area ag fields.
Oh, they spread it?
We do,
You do?
we do, yeah.
That's why you say apply.
That took 3 days, yeah.
When was that done?
I think it was like the 15th, maybe 18th
Of November?
November, sorry.
Okay, so before the ground is.
Yeah, and we have slope requirements. We can't be any more than 5% slope, so. Any other questions?
Okay, Steve, thank you for your report. Janelle, with our great library report. I think you all have a copy.
I have my monthly report. Couple of things of note, we're adding some programming we started working with the CCB they have on them coming in for a special craft and story time, and I'm in the process of working with Missy over at First Resources to create another opportunity for her clients over there. So we're wanting that to happen. We have a lot of friends from those day this programs that come to the library on a regular basis, and we thought it would be really fun. They were really interested in doing some of our programming, so we're hoping to get that going as soon as possible. This week is our book chat group. So that'll happen this Wednesday. We're back in having to change the schedule around quite a bit with the holidays hitting when they are this year. So we're moving on that. Yeah, and so Christmas, we take a break of the 2 weeks around Christmas and New Year's for programming, for most of the kids' programming. The adult programming, we still have things open upstairs and availability for the meeting rooms and any other programs we have for adults. And then starting back in January, we'll have a new calendar for activities with the kids and starting a more of a formal calendar for the adult programming, just so everybody can keep track of who's coming to when. So we'll look for that. And then I'm getting ready for accreditation. That'll happen in January. January and February, I'll work on that process. And then I'm going to be presenting at the end of January. I'm going to be on a panel for one of our statewide CE opportunities that we have as library directors and librarians. They asked me to be on a panel because they heard that we had hosted RAGBRAI a couple times around here. So, and I have a lot of questions. Every year, there's always a lot of questions from librarians like, oh gosh, they heard RAGBRAI's coming through. What do we do? So I'm putting together a presentation. If anybody has any really great RAGBRAI pictures from when they were here for those 2 years, in 16 and 19, make sure you email me or send them to me, and let me know. Just trying to get as much information, mostly about what we did as a library, which we did. We really had fun with it, but also just to give people a little snapshot of what's going to be like in their community.
Any questions for Janelle? I would think the pitch will have broke through. They should have.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them.
Yeah, they should have picked it for you.
Good ones.
Okay, Janelle, thank you very much. 5D, our PACT Economic Development Director is here, Chandler. If you'd like to step up and give us a report, read the council, we'd appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. So I just wanted to give a brief overview. So going forward, some economic development efforts are focusing on strengthening existing businesses, supporting workforce needs. We're gonna start expanding more housing options and increasing downtown foot traffic and strengthening local and regional partners that we have. Our immediate focus, though, is to strengthen the businesses we have. We want to take actionable steps now, especially with the current trends with the economy and businesses in our main street as well. We believe that this is the strongest path forward by supporting these businesses. However, we're not closing the door on any recruitment. We just believe that with current freezes in the government federally, that it's even more important that we focus on supporting local stability. And we have real tools to support these businesses. That includes our IRP funds. We currently have $157,000 available. And with our revolving loan fund, 91K, these resources help us address business needs and the support stability and encourage local growth. These funds also are used for expansion purchases and just daily operational needs. Now with housing, we just moved forward with some pre-designed program that will coincide with a partnership with the city and Lockridge. It removes a lot of barriers, including the designs themselves and going up to the code standard. There's studies that have shown that it saves up to 4 months worth of time and thousands of dollars. So we think it'd be a good step forward into getting these infos developed as residential units. We're also putting a strong emphasis on upper story housing. We believe that bringing more residents downtown will just provide natural support for our local businesses and just expanding attainable quality housing options. Going back to the partnership with the city and Lockridge, we feel that that would be a strong step forward. Another aspect of workforce that we find super important is childcare. Having reliable, high quality childcare remains a core economic need for both families and employers. So I've actually worked with some of our more regional partners in Iowa South and the tri-state development to explore funding pathways or even creating them regionally to support not only the childcare services we have to make sure we don't lose another one, but to also expand in that region as well. As many of you know, childcare access directly affects business retention, workforce participation, and just family stability in rural America that needs it more than ever. On the Main Street side, we have a really strong downtown structure, both with historic buildings and our active businesses. Our goal is to continue building on that foundation through facade improvements, upper story activation, and going alongside with the upper story efforts for foot traffic and support that businesses that are operating there. And this work doesn't just happen with us, it happens with collaboration with the city, county leadership, and our regional and state partners through Main Street, IEDA, as mentioned earlier, Iowa South and Tri-State Development. These relationships help build the capacity that we're looking for. And yeah, so that's kind of our overview going forwards. We did celebrate our 10th year as a Main Street this past year. We've had $374,000 in private investment this year alone, and that goes to 12 million since 2015. We've had 288,000 in public investment with an overall 600K since 2015. And as someone who's from Southwest Missouri, I think that's a huge win for this community. I think it's something that is really cool to highlight for you guys. Not many communities really have this sort of buy-in, both public money, but private money specifically. But we will continue to support reinvestment in downtown buildings, businesses. And yeah, like I said, these efforts are a win for you all as much as it is us.
A few years ago, we had the challenge grants out there. I think the maximum was, I think 100,000 they got. A few people got that. Is that still available, something like that, the challenge grant?
Yeah, they still actively do them yearly and everything. So that, and along with the Catalyst grant as well. So.
Now, do you have any, on the economic development side, do you have anything in the works that you're working on that the public can help with, or?
So the main thing right now is we're shifting focus, like I said, to business retention and everything. So my next step forward outside of the housing is working with our local businesses and what we can do to help, whether that's helping recruit, helping, find more grants for expansion and everything. It's a little scary fiscally out there with the money available federally. So I think waiving that storm and everything like that, but we're really looking towards the housing, and then childcare is.
So for current local businesses, probably the best thing that we could do is spend our money in those businesses, couldn't we?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
gonna be the immediate.
I think
solution
supporting
for some of
locally
this.
as much as we can, participating in our shop second Saturdays, and really showing support through social media as well. One of those things of you grow by exposure, I think could really help. So yeah, I mean, I encourage everyone to spend as much time in the local shops as they can.
I will say I just joined, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but maybe you all are in the same boat. I just joined the PACT newsletter, like through email, and got my first one this morning. And It was great because normally I'd be searching on the PACT website or on social media to try to find the different events. And I actually didn't realize how much was going on to draw people into local businesses. So it was really nice to see the summary of events that are happening at the community level. So like at the YMCA, but also some of the business promotions and that kind of thing. So it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And feel free to reach out anytime. Anyone contact either myself, Christina Delaney for questions, comments, or anything like that. We're happy to assist. So
Yeah, thanks, Chandler. I would also just say the focus on housing is really exciting. I know at the council level, it's something we've talked about a lot. So to see y'all focused on this and collaborating with the city, I think is great, and excited to learn more about how we can continue to support those initiatives.
absolutely. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. And like I said, feel free to contact me anytime about anything. So
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Thanks, Chandler. Appreciate it. 5E, we're gonna just pass on that. We've got more information we want.
Yeah, I put the wrong, info in the packet for that discussion, so we'll have to put it back there. Thank you.
We'll have that coming up probably in January. So we move to our swearing in. We have 2 council members who need to be sworn in, and yours truly needs to be sworn in. So, I guess you're gonna do the honor to get me going, and then I'll welcome the 2. So we'll have our swearing in ceremony. Okay. Get right there. Got the Bible, put my right hand. And I put my left too, I've got left hand, my right hand on the raise. Right, here we go.
I state your name,
I, Michael G. O'Connor,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of mayor
discharge all the duties of mayor
for the city of Centerville,
for the city of Centerville,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law. Thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna start with you. If you'd step up, please.
You start with the new guy back there.
Well,
Giddy before.
which place to let you put your left hand on the Bible. Raise your right hand if you would. I state your name.
I, Ronald Reagan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially,
and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of the council member of the city of Centerville,
of the council member of the city of Centerville,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations and welcome aboard
Thank
again.
you.
Okay,
Not doing that, instead of like this way.
what?
2 steps this way, towards me.
Now I need, how is it?
Yep. Then, yeah, because the camera right into your back.
Oh, well, I tried my best. I tried my best on that. We were called your business before.
Well, it's been a while.
You would. Repeat after me. I state your name.
Christopher Hoffman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially,
and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all of the duties of a council member
discharge all of the duties of a council member
for the city of Centerville,
for the city of Centerville,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Welcome aboard. Glad to have
Thank you.
Yeah, just with that.
I'd pass my crown over to you, but they wouldn't.
Well, it's too late with jewels.
All right. Well, Don, you're gonna be front and center right now.
I am right here in the middle.
Yeah, I'm gonna move it again, sorry about that. Council members and myself, we have a proclamation. I, for one, do so really appreciate all you've done for us. Fire department for many years and serving on the council. So we do have a proclamation that I would like to read at this time. Proclamation of commendation and appreciation to Councilmember Don Sherwood. Whereas Councilmember Don Sherwood has served with honor and distinction as a Centerville City Council member from January 2022 through December 2025. And whereas during his tenure as council member, Don Sherwood consistently upheld the highest standards of honesty, integrity, and ethics, and in carrying out the responsibilities associated with elected office. And whereas Councilmember Don Sherwood was a strong advocate of the city's nuisance enforcement and rental inspection programs, recognizing the importance of safe housing, neighborhood accountability, and the quality of life protection for residents. And whereas Councilman Sherwood became well known for his direct, head-on approach to problem solving, carefully thinking issues through, standing firm in his convictions, and never shying away from challenging or uncomfortable conversations. And whereas Councilman Don Sherwood demonstrated notable endurance and restraint during public meetings, thoroughly weighing public comment and range from insightful and constructive to passionately delivered and occasionally impervious to facts. And whereas Councilmember Don Sherwood has demonstrated throughout his service that his primary mission as an elected official and public servant has been to act in the best interest of the community as a whole, even when doing so required a thick skull, a steady voice, and the patience to explain the same answer repeatedly. And whereas beyond his service on the city council, Don Sherwood continues to serve the community as the Assistant Chief of the Centerville Volunteer Fire Department, further reflecting his long-standing dedication to public service and the safety of the citizens of Centerville. And now, therefore, on behalf of the Centerville City Council, we hereby express our sincere and heartfelt appreciation for distinguished public service to the legendary Don Sherwood, and extended the very best wishes for all your future endeavors. Dated this 15th day, December 2025, by the mayor and 5 council members. Don, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
All right, we move on to 5H, and that is the wastewater project closeout documents. You want to explain?
Yeah, so, since we're in the eras now, we have here the final document to close out of our wastewater project that we've been working on since 2018, so. While it says the 2021 project, that's when we broke ground, but we were working well before that, so. This is the final document that will accept the project. It will allow us to release the final retainage, which, we actually get a credit back at $10,000, so, the project is wrapped in that. And this has the letter of recommendation of completion from the engineering here, as well as the final lien release, notice of acceptability of work, and then final closeout. So then we'll submit our final documentation to the state revolving fund to get our final reimbursement for the funding for it. If you have any questions about the project and where we are.
Well, I'm just glad we're gonna finish something in my 4 years of being here.
Down to the wire.
Any other questions or comments on that particular?
Now, with this being finished, how soon before we have to start updating it and?
Oh, well, our permit requirements actually wanted us to start updating it before we even finished it. Realistically, the state will not probably require anything for 15 to 20 years, before we have to do the updates. And that will, I'm trying to think what we have left,
Nutrient removal, I sent that one off, it was due, I think, the 1st of December, I sent that off sometime in November. I do that annually, then I have another one in February that I'll send off as well, so.
Is there stuff we can do though throughout this time period to make sure we maintain a good,
Oh,
where we don't have to
absolutely.
spend so much money at the,
Absolutely,
one
I mean,
time.
I think, Ron could probably speak on it, because he's around it, I mean, we have stuff that's 40 and 50 years old that had a life expectancy of 20 years that we've been. Well, I mean, I think the guys that have done the maintenance over the course of the last 25, 30 years, they're doing a great job of keeping it up, so.
Yeah, and I would say the work being done is not due to lack of maintenance, it is updated requirements that the state.
no, I just mean, is there,
No, and I, just going
Stuff
forward, I
that's-
think that's the biggest risk we have is the nutrient reduction strategy that is changing every year, and so every 5 years, they add new requirements for it. It's like, when our plant was constructed, UV disinfection was not a thing. And so, like, things like that are being put in there, that, you know, they might not even exist in this technology now that we're gonna have to look at in our next go round.
I mean, we could strain the water off the sludge and use it to heat the street department.
We could also use our outflow to fill the city pool every year, but.
Jason, from the original cost estimate, where did we end up on this project? Because I know there was,
Our total estimate was a little over 13 million and we came in at like 12. That much in front of me.
we came in under,
We came in under, I think we had one,
Like you shy 12-1, is that what I'm saying?
yeah, and then one way to see what the original amount was actually on that first document.
Like 12,014,000.
Yep, so our total amount that we paid was, our original contract price was 12,038,000. And we ended up coming in at 12,014,000, so, 24,000 less than we originally anticipated, via change orders.
in today's time, that's unheard of.
Yeah, it was a good job with it,
Yeah.
really.
It did a great job, a lot of people involved, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for saving us some money on that.
Okay, so that brings to a close our final meeting for,
So we need a motion to approve that.
we need a motion to approve. All right,
We should do a roll call.
let's take care of that, then Donna goes to go on your.
I've still got tears in my eyes.
I'll make a motion that we do approve, and maybe Don will give me a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the last payment.
Okay, thank you. Got a motion from Don?
Second.
Second from Darren. All those in favor, let's do a roll call, please.
Sherwood,
Aye.
Brahman,
Aye.
Cragan,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Krusek.
Aye.
Okay, so we've been approved to make the final payment on that multi-million-dollar project. Do want to mention that youngsters from the Bridge Church dropped off to the council members and to us here at the office, holiday greeting and thanking us for the service. So we appreciate the youngsters from the Bridge Church. That was very nice of them today to get that to us for a final. So that's gonna do it. Want to wish everybody a happy new year, Merry Christmas, and call for a vote to adjourn the final meeting of 2025. Got a motion from Ron.
Come on, I showed that Don do it.
Second.
Second from Ron. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those approved, same sign. We are adjourned. And again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.